Welcome to the Diamond Mine Podcast with Nate and Laney, where we listen to all 92 Diamond albums certified by Billboard. Today's album is
Yourself or Someone Like You
by Matchbox 20. So, I would like to say something before we get into the album. Last podcast, the Titanic one, we choked. We didn't say where we would put the Titanic on the grand scheme of the 1 through 92. So I kind of want to say that and get that out of the way before we get into the next album. So, how did you feel about the Titanic?
I mean, I liked it pretty well. Definitely better than Creed and Nickelback, I think. Not better than Garth Brooks or Kenny, though.
I can agree there. I on the scale of 1 through 92, honestly, I enjoyed it a lot less than you did.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be in like the 80s, most likely.
I would have put it in like the 60s or 70s, but we still have
quite a bit
so
of
many
music to listen to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just to get that out of the way. Okay, now on to Matchbox 20.
Right. Okay, so this one came out in 1996. It went 12 times platinum. There are 12 songs on the album, and it spans 47 minutes.
This was their premiere studio album, I believe, which is like pretty impressive for that to go platinum. First real studio album, and it goes platinum and 12 times. So, anyways, on to the songs.
Yeah, we can go ahead. Okay, the first song on the album is Real World. For this one, I said it was loud, catchy, had a good riff, and the voice I thought was similar, like just starting out, it was very similar to the Creed vocalist.
Yes.
And it kind of reminded me of another, it was a 90s band, but they still kind of make music, the Bare Naked Ladies, which is my mom's favorite band. I'll play you some of their songs. They're interesting.
I noticed during the song, and I honestly couldn't sing it to you right now, but there was like a really catchy riff during the song. That immediately stung out. Oh my goodness, I did vocal warm ups before this, bro. They weren't like legitimate vocal warm ups, but
right. Yeah.
But there was a good riff during the song, and that really stuck out to me. Just very catchy. This reminds me of my brother. My brother was born in like 92, so this is what he would listen to when he was in his room and wouldn't let me in and would,
Right.
There was some weird vocal moments. You can really tell that he doesn't use a lot of auto-tune or anything like that, any studio alterations to his voice.
I respect it more for that, though. It's just a raw, pure vocal talent at that point.
Very, very distinctive voice. I noted during this song, the two other bands that had very distinctive voices, Nickelback and Creed, did not do well, in my opinion. I was like, I hope Matchbox 20 is better.
Was mainly because of their content. Creed was just that sound was the same overall.
Yeah.
This one I feel like has great content and can change it up several different times within the album. So it was better than those two, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, this song, Real World, it's about, I got this off of Genius. So this is just me reading straight from that. It says that this song holistically has an escapist theme with the persona fantasizing about various situations and wanting to keep the real world, in quotations, away. However, the bridge indicates that the persona isn't totally removed from reality, basically saying that being yourself is the best option. Yeah.
Huh. I felt like this album, I didn't expect a lot of deepness from the songs on this album, and I feel like some of these songs kind of get pretty deep.
They get pretty deep. They do. They're more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is Long Day.
started off nice and calm in comparison to the first song, but it ended up having like that classic 90s alternative spunk to it.
Yeah. Definitely it did.
It just feels authentic. I like that 90s spunk, and especially since he doesn't use any voice alterations. Or not, I'm not going to say not any, because I'm sure he...
But it's not like crazy.
Yes,
like,
he doesn't just like crank the
right.
auto-tune dial up to 10. He uses very little voice alteration. It just felt really authentic, and I really like that about a band, is when they can feel authentic and like feel like they're actually skilled musicians and can sing well, and I just like that.
Right, like you said, this one did have that softer kind of tone because it started off with just a nice classic acoustic guitar, but then it also kind of bounced around between instruments. So like it had the acoustic, the electric, your bass and drums came in, like all of it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed how they had them separately, but also mixed them together within the song. I really did like this one. It was a good one. And Genius Lyrics did say that this one was their very first single coming off of this album, which is their first album, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And although it wouldn't be until later singles that the band would attain pop success, this song got the band established in the mainstream rock genre. And the song is about a person venting their frustrations about their life, and he confides in a loved one who understands the frustration of that person and can still be there for them and love them all the same. So yeah.
How about that? How about that, Matchbox 20? I feel like I've said that like 5 times this podcast already.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Yeah. And then at this point, I wrote that I would definitely listen to them more than the one song I know, which was 3 a.m.
I'd heard 3 a.m. and I'd heard Push.
Yeah, I had heard that one too.
But 3 a.m., speaking of which,
is the next song. Yeah.
Gosh, that song was good. I've found myself listening to that song. That song was very good.
Easily one of the best ones off the album, obviously.
Yes. Once I heard the song though, as soon as it started, I didn't recognize it at first, but I recognized it once the chorus hit, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I have heard this song."
That's how I was with Push.
Yeah. And when I heard it, I was like, "Oh no, this could be another Creed," because he's got that
he has
raspiness to his voice.
Yeah.
Like their voices so similar.
Like that voice reminded me of the lead singer of Creed's voice. I can't remember his name right now, but it reminded me of him, like dead on.
But oh shoot, I lost. Oh, okay. I feel like that voice matches a lot better with the Matchbox 20, like what they're going for with their music. Because Creed, their stuff is a lot heavier and just, I guess, louder than what Matchbox 20 does. And Matchbox 20, especially 3AM, it's got like some folky vibes almost. Like they're playing their acoustic guitar and they're like more poppy rather than like really heavy rock. I just feel like their voice matches a lot better with the genre that they're going for.
Yeah, and I feel like with you saying that about how they are, like, they do kind of have the alt-rock aspect, but also they're more poppy and kind of folky. I feel like they could be a very diverse band. I don't know anything about them other than what we did for this album, but I feel like they could branch out more and
also,
make it work.
Taking a little break from the songs, this is a very iconic album cover. I'd seen this album cover before. I'd never heard this album before, but that album cover, the guy wearing the helmet or whatever.
Yeah, the hat, and then he has the glasses.
Yeah, that's just a very iconic album cover. And fun fact, that guy ends up suing Matchbox 20 for having his face on the album cover, and he said he didn't consent or whatever, but
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either.
Because now he's dead.
Yeah,
he's
he
not
died
here anymore.
pretty recently, I think.
I think 2015 is what it was. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
While Lainey's looking this up, I can tell y'all a joke. what do you call a crab whose paintings hang in the Louvre? I'll give you a second. Okay. Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh, look at the audio waves from me laughing. Apologies.
Okay, this guy's name is Frank Torres.
Frank Torres.
Yeah.
How about that?
That
She
joke.
said, baby.
That joke.
You can't tell me that joke wasn't good.
Okay.
That joke made my English teacher laugh. So, what's up with that?
Anyway, 3 a.m. Like I said, one of the most popular. It is extremely catchy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the simplicity of it too. Like it has a a kind of simple beat throughout the entire song and the strumming pattern, And it is about. Oh, okay. So 3 a.m. is written from the perspective of a 12 or 13-year-old Rob Thomas, who is the lead singer of this band, and whose mom had cancer at the time. She doesn't anymore.
Good for him.
And it's about her reaction to the cancer and how he processed and dealt with it the entire situation. So yeah, that's what it's about.
Well,
Which is interesting.
I'm glad she doesn't have cancer anymore. That's happy ending.
Not like Wake Me Up When September Ends.
Yeah, that song's sad.
It is, it really is.
I'm surprised that album didn't go diamond. Anyways.
Yeah, same here, honestly, but whatever. They even had a Broadway play. Like, what? Okay.
The album was huge. Push, the other song that...
Push! It took you a second. It took you a real second.
Oh my goodness. The audio waves every time I laugh are just like, spike, 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 spike.
If it's too loud, you can bring it down.
Push is the other one that I'd heard before. And at this point, I remember I wrote down, it's like a way better Creed. It is just like, he is so much better than Creed.
I wrote that exact same thing. I said Creed is the bargain brand of Matchbox 20.
Dude, they are the Walmart brand. They are the great value. They are the food club.
The great value.
They're the bargain bin. They're the clearance aisle.
Creed is like that CD where you dig through the $5 box and you just like stick your hand in the bottom and pull it out and like, oh, it's Creed.
Oh my gosh, Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler.
Gilmore. You did not have to drag him into that like that.
Adam Sandler is a king.
He's a genius. Anyway.
Maybe we should start a movie podcast. Not really.
After we get through all 92 of these. Maybe. Let us know down below.
top 10 best selling like box office hits, or like top 25 or something.
We watched a movie.
You'd have to watch Titanic again.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right now. That's not gonna happen.
It might.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Work that up, dude. Okay. Anyway.
Push. There's a specific song, and a lot of people are not gonna know this song, but it's Corey Smith, Drinking Again, and they sound so similar, and it's that folky, the vibe with his voice that they sound so similar. I played it for Lainey, and they sound like eerily similar. So
yeah, it is. They're very close together.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. So for Push, I noted that it had a slower tempo, like Long Day kind of did. And it's just kind of, but Long Day did kind of pick up. So this one did stay slow, and it just kind of took a break from the first three. Again, it's one of their most popular songs. And it does also kind of pick up and go a little bit harder. Or he tries to with his vocal abilities. But the tempo stays the same.
Indeed.
So yeah. But this song is about an emotionally abusive relationship that Rob was in with a woman who had been cheated on and betrayed by previous exes. Their relationship is at a breaking point, and at some point Rob has suggested, or asked for them to break up because of the emotional distress and pain they are both experiencing. Her difficult past has shattered her mental and emotional state, and she struggles with self-esteem, trust, and loving herself and someone else as a result of her previous relationships, which were likely emotionally abusive with her as the victim. Yeah, sorry. She is upset that someone she has likely opened up to her. What? Okay, sorry. I copy and pasted this from the internet, and it's just not. Okay, she is upset that someone she has likely opened up to about her insecurities, fears, and emotions would dare turn away and run from her. Talking about Rob. And, however, she has taken on the role of the abuser in her new relationship with Rob, and he's now the one suffering from the emotional abuse. And when people first heard the song, they thought that it was about a man
wanting to, like, push his spouse around.
like abusing the woman, but it's the other way around, and it's emotional, not physical. Wait, can we take a time out? So when you were talking about reviewing movies after this, I don't know if any of you all have seen it. It's a funny, hilarious, great video. It's from Mad TV. It's about this guy in the theater, and he's trying to hit on a woman. And when you said that, I was going to say, okay, Gene Shalit. Oh, you
Grace
like that movie,
Kelly.
huh? Miss Gene Shalit. Anyway, and you even like kind of have the hair for Gene Shalit too, which is.
I like when carbonated drinks burn the back of my throat.
You tweeted that the other day, and I was like, what?
Follow my Twitter, NatesGreat74.
Oh my god. Okay, so now they have your email and your Twitter.
Okay, they can have my Twitter. Follow my Twitter. Retweet, like, share.
The people from like Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, go for it. Oklahoma, where you at, bro?
Where you at? Oklahoma?
Work that up, dude, Oklahoma.
Work that up, dude. Oh, you don't. Oh, you don't have a boyfriend. Okay, we need to. Girl like that.
I wrote that Matchbox 20, their sound is very of their time. And I really saw that with this because they gave me Blues Traveler vibes. I don't know if you've ever listened to them. They did Hook. They did Runaround.
I've heard of them, but I've never like actually gone into their stuff before.
I mean, I'm sure if I played like Runaround for you, I think that's the more popular of their two biggest songs. Mm-hmm. You would be like, oh yeah, I've heard this song. But they have a very similar vibe. Blues Traveler thing is they're like a folk rock, and I know I keep going back to the folk thing, which is kind of weird that, going off on a tangent, Matchbox 20 on their like Wikipedia isn't labeled as folk rock. They're like post grunge and pop rock and alt rock.
Well, I mean, I understand that because it's like mid 90s.
Yeah.
They're coming. That's what all of the bands are doing at the time, so it makes sense. But I feel like most of these bands, whether they realize it or not, are coming from generations before them, which does include folk. Mm-hmm. Like the Beatles, before they were the Beatles, they had some album, or like they had songs that they would come out with, and it sounded like Elvis Presley. Like it sounded very folkish and stuff like that, and it's really weird to listen to them then.
That is weird.
And then going into like the White Album and stuff like that.
They'd wear their greaser hair and their leather jackets and... Oh man, that is really... I can't wait till we get to the Beatles. That's going to be a long podcast, the Beatles albums, because I have a lot to say about the Beatles albums.
It is. It's going to be like an hour long, like Tiny Meat Gang or something. Like an hour and a half.
But yeah, they sound like Blues Traveler. Blues Traveler has that folk rock vibe that they have. And I was even talking about, I was writing about their genres that they're labeled as. And when I saw post-grunge, to give you all a backstory, whenever we listen to an album, at least I personally, I don't look up about the band or go and listen to some songs before we listen to the album. If I've not heard them, I just listen.
No, I do it after the fact.
I looked up Matchbox 20 just to see what genre it was, and it said post-grunge, and that's what Creed was. And
Creed makes more sense though.
Yes,
which is so weird.
I just don't feel like Matchbox 20 fits under the umbrella of post-grunge.
On Apple Music, it says this album is pop.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Pop rock, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I thought about Girl Like That.
I just said that for this one, I like how they harmonize and kind of layer the voices in the chorus. I said that it was another catchy one, and I personally think that this is one of my favorites from this album. Because I just really like the sound of it. The song meaning,
I just like the sound of it.
I just really like the sound of that song. You know what I mean? Like, just the sound
Miss
of the
Jean
music.
Shalit.
It's Jean Shalit. Grace Kelly.
Can I have your number?
Can I have your number? Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't. Okay. Okay. This one. Oh, when this came out, at least one feminist group tried to ban this song, believing that it encouraged violence toward women. So
Man,
it's another, like, yeah, I know.
two violence towards women songs.
But it's, like, not even that.
Uh-huh.
And, obviously they, like, failed at doing so because the band explained that it was about emotional rather than physical confrontation and dealt with female and male mental harm.
Uh-huh.
Not, like, female on male mental harm, not the other way around. And Rob Thomas said that this is evident to anyone who listens to the lyrics and not just the chorus. And Thomas wrote this about a high school girlfriend who vengefully broke up with him by giving his clothes to charity. Thomas didn't have any money to buy new clothes, so local bands would just, like, give him t-shirts and other stuff, and so that's what he wore for, like, months.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, like, clothes that bands donated to him, which is actually kind of cool if you
Yeah,
think about it. Like, he
that
was
is
just
cool.
wearing, like, local band t-shirt. Like, yeah, I think that's cool, but
He was a walking billboard.
he really was. But that's so cool. Like, I don't know,
Oh, that's so dope. I bet if you did go to, like, local bands and you were like, hey, y'all got t-shirts?
Mm-hmm.
I will wear y'all's ish all the time. I bet you could get a t-shirt, dude.
I think it depends, because some bands would be like, no, you're going to pay $30 for this. Like, what are you talking about? And other people would be like, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, take this, bro.
Right.
Thank you for the support.
Mm-hmm.
But
Don't
yeah,
worry.
back to good. Is that next?
I don't know, because my notes just completely.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, back to good.
Okay, I thought I was about to have to think of another joke. Back to good. So
Another joke. I mean, go ahead. If you...
slower song. Longest on the album, and I was like, oh my gosh, the longest song on the album.
But it was 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Let me tell you, after those 5 minutes and 40 seconds were done, I was like, that was the longest song on the album. Just because I genuinely enjoyed this album so much. Little spoiler for the end of the podcast. I think this album is horribly low on Billboard's list. I think this album is way better than it was rated.
What did we say, like mid-30s? Somewhere in there? Is that what we agreed on?
Probably something like that.
I can't remember.
Somewhere in that. Oh my goodness. That I just hurt my foot.
We're sitting in the floor.
Yeah. But I just think this album is horribly underrated. This song just did not seem like 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The lead singer says about the song that this song is the one off of the album that holds up the best. It's about... I'm sorry, I'm kind of stealing your thunder because you're usually the one that's this is what the song is about.
Go ahead.
But it's about screwing up so often that you just get used to it. And this is where I realized, like, man, Matchbox 20, this band can get pretty deep. They're just talking about shame and, like, the feeling of shame that you always get, and, like, just being used to the shame and screwing up all the time.
And just, like, real situations that people have been in.
Yes. I just felt like this band is so much better than they're rated.
I mean, other than, like, Kenny G's vibey attitude that he brought us, this one's, like, definitely the most relatable, obviously.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kind of piggybacking off of what you said a second ago, with this being, like, way low on the list, I noted that is so much more variety throughout this album compared to the other ones that we listened to. Garth Brooks did have some variety.
Yes.
But it wasn't solid through and through like this one is, I don't think. I said that they constantly produced bops. And that they're like kind of songs about relationships, or they're like love songs or whatever, weren't just like the sappy, slow stuff that you typically get. Like it was pretty powerful stuff. And I appreciated that. For this song specifically, I said that it was another like kind of slower pace. It had a very prominent snare beat. It was just another catchy one, which you get on this album.
Yeah, this album is a very catchy album.
Yeah. And I wrote that I feel like people at this concert, like to this song specifically, would like wave lighters in the air.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's all I had for that one.
Viewers of the or listeners, I guess, apologies, but I think we need to move the mic a little bit closer to you. So, sorry for this noise. Because I feel like my audio waves are picking up a lot heavier than yours are. And I don't know if that's like really apparent in the audio.
I don't know, because my headphones are really weird right now, so I can't really tell. But, yeah. What's the next song?
The next song is, I'm sorry, Mom, if you ever hear this, because I'm about to have to swear. The next song is Damn.
Damn!
Personally, I thought the whole, like, damn hook, the whole damn hook, but the, like...
We're Southern.
The damn hook that they have, where they're like, damn.
Why do I not remember listening to this? Like,
I do,
I have notes,
because this old world well, don't it make you want to think, damn, this cold girl well, don't she make you want to scream, damn.
Okay, but yeah.
Like how they ended off stuff with damn. I thought that was
well,
like,
I mean,
cheesy.
The title reflects a song, so you got to do what you got to do.
I thought that was kind of cheesy, but
right.
Like that's really like the first real huge complaint I've had with anything on this album. So if that's the biggest complaint you've had so far from me, I can look over the hook, or not even the hook, because it's not a chorus, but like the pattern you're using in your verses being cheesy. I can overlook that.
That's fair.
Oh my goodness. A burp just like snuck up on me. It was like a ninja burp.
You just like throw up. We don't pause. You just let it happen. Anyway.
But they got that little pre-chorus build-up that I really liked. And then the chorus was really catchy. Just as everything is on this album. So if they didn't have that little damn hook, then I would enjoy this song quite a bit. Because I like the pre-chorus and the chorus.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that they put those for the lyrics, and the song title is the damn. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And Paul McCartney, I watched an interview with him, it was within the past couple years, but he talked about, like, someone asked him how he came up with the name for the song, and he was like, well, I just named the songs what you would expect it to be named, so you know what you're getting, you know what song it is, like, you know, whatever. So, I mean, that makes sense to me, I guess. I like that this one started with a very simple drum beat, like, a beginner could just pick it up and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it had pretty basic guitar chords, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just said that the lyrics, you know, lay over nicely, and it matches the beat. The chorus is pretty nice, or whatever it was, you know. I said it was also just another catchy song.
Of course.
Of course, it's
what you're getting from this man.
That's what they produce. And I said that the end of it had that fade out with the guitar. And that reminded me of, like, earlier Green Day songs from, like, American Idiot and kind of earlier, which is how they would end, like, a lot of their songs, whatever. But when I looked this up, there was no definite meaning of the song, but there are numerous quotes from Rob Thomas, basically saying, like, what the song's about. One quote says the song is about messing around, messing up, and getting pretty good at it. And then another quote says that this song is very deep, it's very serious. And then he jokes around and says it's about getting laid.
Very deep and serious.
Mm-hmm. And then the third quote says, A lot of people think the song has some big philosophical meaning, but it's really just about getting laid. And then the last quote that I found said, "This is a song about working hard and getting laid." So I think we know what the song's
Is this song about getting laid, Lainey?
No, where'd you hear that?
I don't know. Just a hunch.
It's just off the top of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, next song, "Argue."
I wrote something about a song that's gonna come up that I can't remember what this means, but we'll get there when we get there. What is the next one? Argue?
Yeah.
I've got like one thing to say about this song that isn't something that would just be repeated. This sounds like a high school coming of age song that would be played at like the beginning of a high school movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like those. The only one I can think of right now is like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know, like we're going and we're vibing and or like what's another good high school coming of age? Superbad.
There's so many.
Superbad is a really good movie. That's like one of my favorites.
What? There's a movie with Haley Steinfeld, The Edge of 17.
Mm-hmm.
That one's interesting.
But yeah, sounds like one of those kind of songs.
There's a lot. Look at real quick. Will you look at the lyrics to the song?
Argue?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like the song. It had simple lyrics. It was broken apart, which is different from other songs. The chorus, I said, kicked major butt. Thank you, Matchbox 20. It ended with a guitar fade out again.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 songs in a row. And the meaning of this one, what I found was it just said it's self-explanatory. So will you kind of briefly read through some of the lyrics so we can...
Like out loud?
Yeah, so we can kind of like talk about this.
She don't, but she will. He says anything to keep her by him. She takes what she gets, and she never did flinch. So over and over, anyone with any mind would think that's all she gets. That's the first little, what is that called? Stanza?
Right, the first verse or 2, whatever.
Yeah. If you want, you can get to know me well. We get along, so we shouldn't argue. And I don't know, said I don't know. All these feelings cloud up my reasoning.
It's just self-explanatory, but yet it's very, like I said, it was very broken apart and kind of choppy.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, you guys. I just...
Tell a joke. I'm looking things up.
What kind of underwear does a cloud wear? Thunder wear. That one was sad. Okay. I don't know. This one, like I said...
This person says...
If you guys know the meaning, feel free to email Nate, since you already have his email.
Yeah, I gave my email a podcast or 2 ago, so...
was that Titanic, or was it Creed, or what was it?
I think it was Garth Brooks.
Oh, yeah, it might have been Garth Brooks.
I'm pretty sure it was Garth Brooks.
I keep forgetting that we did that one, and I don't know why, but... whatever.
Yeah, I really...
Anyway.
Have no clue what this song is about.
I don't know. If you guys know, let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, self-explanatory. My
booty.
Nuts.
At this point in the album, I wrote down, they're going strong, but can they keep it up?
Because a reoccurring pattern of the few albums we've listened to, excluding Titanic, because Titanic sounded the same for most of the album, and with Creed, but
yeah, but that one we were done, like...
The last few songs just kind of tank. Like, they're just like, oh my gosh,
It's mediocre.
Yes, like, they just put all of their garbage bin tracks at the end of this.
If you're gonna do that, spread them out.
Yes, spread them out evenly. Thank you.
Exactly. And there's only, I think, 4 songs left at this point, so it really could have crashed and burned. Spoiler alert, it didn't do that, but...
Bless up to the Matchbox 20 gods.
Thank you, Matchbox 20. The next song is Cody with a K.
Yes, I was literally about to say that with a K.
But it's actually about a Cody with a C, which is interesting, but whatever. I think it is.
starts with some nice calm chords. The drummer's grooving is what I said. Something I noticed about this band is it's not just the vocalist that's good. Like I feel like all of the musicians in this band are good. The drummer's grooving in this song. There's a song a little later on that I comment on a different musician that's doing really well.
Right.
But the song is sad. Like, this song is deep. This song's sad.
Yeah, when we first listened to it, obviously it was a slower paced song.
Yeah.
Which helped with its, sadness.
Sadness and
Yeah.
sorrow.
But you could obviously tell that this one was telling a story, and that this one sounded a lot more emotional than the other songs, and I said that it was very, like, smooth throughout. Thank you for that.
Can y'all hear me hitting the dab? Well, I'll try to hit the dab so hard they hear me.
Okay, all you hear is, like...
Rustling.
Yeah, the meaning of this song, the actual meaning, is that the lead singer, Rob Thomas, wrote this after going to a funeral of a 2.5-year-old boy named Cody.
Oh.
And the little boy was actually his girlfriend's nephew, and he died after a botched operation. And he said that he didn't know the family that well, but he was moved by the funeral.
That's so sad.
It is really sad.
Oh. Look at these little... We're in a closet. I'm sure we've said that multiple times.
Literally every episode.
But behind Lainey are a bunch of suitcases.
Yeah,
like traveling bags. And there's one, and it's zebra print, and the zippers have hearts on them.
It says Kathy. That's the brand.
Yeah, we got some scenery in here.
Fun fact, we used to sit in this closet and play board games.
Yeah, we did. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Like that
this
Gooey
is like
Louie where you pull the boogers out.
Yeah, this isn't like a bedroom closet. This is like a hall closet where you just put winter coats and things of that nature in there.
There's Easter baskets. There's like horses on a stick.
There's a helium tank up there on the shelves.
Oh yeah. There's some wreaths in the corner, like fall, like decorative wreaths. There's wrapping paper. That's fun. I don't know. There's a bunch of sleeping bags and just random stuff in this. And a bunch of random stuff in this closet.
Yeah.
And the board games are still here, in case you're wondering, because I know you are. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Anyways, there's that little intermission.
Anyway, the next song is Busted.
I actually got quite a bit to say about this one. Okay. Busted has more of a metal sound. I was like, oh god, they're doing a Creed. They're turning it to Creed. The last 3 songs are gonna be Creed. This is gonna be bad. Not nearly as bad as Creed, but I still didn't like it.
They would never.
Not as bad as Creed though, but I didn't like it nearly as much.
This is the one that I had a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of them on the album.
I wrote, don't really know how I feel about this. The bassist be thumping, though. So the bassist is killing this one. Also, I thought that the bassist was the guy that was on the cover of this album. They look very similar for some reason.
They do. Yeah.
But this is where I was like, man, his voice is so much more fit for a folky, poppy rock. Not the heavier metal sound. Mm-hmm. But the instruments in the background, they're just killing it on this song. And it made me think, like, what if Creed did a more folky song, a more poppy rock song? Do you think that you would enjoy Creed?
I don't know, because after a while, his voice just, like...
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't take that.
Mm-hmm.
Not to offend him or anything, like he's really listening, but I just couldn't take it.
I also wrote, and I don't really remember, this is what I was saying earlier about, like, I wrote something and I don't really remember. Mm-hmm. I said, I do not like how he said letter. And I'm assuming he was like, letter, or like something like that, and his...
I would play it here, but I don't think that's a good move.
I think copyright, you can play a song for less than like 30 seconds. It would.
I heard it was 10 seconds.
Well, if it's 10 seconds or 30 seconds, I'm just gonna fast forward until he says letter. You keep talking.
You find it, and then I'll just read what
Or I'll scooch back from the mic.
Found from the song.
So take the reins, Lainey.
Okay. Kind of what Nate said. I said that this one sounds heavier than the rest of the songs on the album. I didn't put it quite in the category of metal, but I said it was hard rock. But his voice, for some reason, just doesn't really fit with that sound because his voice just fits with, like, the poppy sound that they have been going with. And that his voice is kind of higher pitched. I said that I still like this song. I know you didn't, but you don't really like songs like this.
Yeah.
Oh, it picked you up, don't you worry.
It?
Yeah. So I still said it was kind of a banger. And there was, like, a little... Wait, was there a sound clip added to the song, like, at the end?
Yes, it was something about religion.
Yeah, that's the one that we questioned. Okay, yeah. So it says something about religion, like about God or Jesus or something. I can't remember. But I thought that was a nice little feature, detail, whatever.
Oh, I think I found it.
Okay.
Hold on. You
Hold
keep
on.
talking.
Okay, I'll give the meaning. So a lot of people think that this is prophetic to 9/11. Which is really weird. So if you go through the lyrics and actually read the lyrics, you might find some parallels. But I found on Song Facts, because this one wasn't actually described on Genius Lyrics, someone said, I think it's about people who sleep together. He's got this thing going on with a girl where there's a purely physical attraction and things tend to happen when they're together, but that's it. And... I don't know if that's true. I can't confirm that or not, but that's just what I found. So
here's how he says it. Later.
Later.
That made me very
high school later.
Very uncomfy.
No. Okay, yeah, now that, yeah, I remember that. But his voice just doesn't match the music.
No, I don't think so either.
So whatever. But we can move on to the next one.
Shame.
Shame.
Another song with some heavy themes, and I kind of reflected on the album as a whole as the album is just read something I wrote in my notes.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Since we're nearing the end of the album, I started reflecting on it as a whole, and man, this album has some heavy themes. There's some heartbreak. There's some shame. There's a little bit of alcoholism here and there, you know. But I felt like the song didn't have a big enough, like, I specifically remember this. The song never hit. Like, I feel like this song needed a big hit. Like a lot of rock songs that start off soft do. But the song never had a big hit to it. I don't know if you know what I mean by saying, like, hit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like they never, like, came into it how they should have, and they just, like...
Yeah. I felt like the chorus should have had a big hit.
They should have punched it.
The song's also very repetitive, because I even remember you saying, whenever we were listening to it, you looked at me and you were like, hey, do you think this one's about shame?
Yeah, because it just... Yes.
They just kept hitting that, and I mean, I guess...
Because, I mean...
Whoa.
The song title is Shame.
It's about shame,
What
buddy.
do they talk about? They talk about some shame.
Very, very repetitive song, but, I mean, it's catchy at least, so...
I don't know why, but this podcast, out of all of them, we've just been off the rails.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, my notes for this one is so stupid. I wrote, electric picking underneath acoustic strumming. Like, yeah, yeah.
That makes sense, Lainey.
I'm not wrong. But whatever. And then I said... It's catchy yet again. Which I don't remember the song, I won't lie. They just talk about shame. And then my initial reaction was I thought that this song was about feeling shameful. If you couldn't tell from the title. And
this song is about shame, guys.
It's about shame. But the real... Okay, again, I could not find this on, like, Genius Lyrics. Like, there was no confirmed meaning of the song. But what I did find was someone commenting and say... And they said that, I agree that this song is about a relationship, but it goes beyond that. It's about being disappointed by people in general.
I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
I don't need them. don't need them. I don't need it. It sorry about that. It reminds me of when my parents got divorced 9 years ago. This is from someone's comment.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, like, what are you talking about? Your parents are 100% not divorced.
No,
One of them is my sister.
That's a fact.
The dad.
Okay. I was more mad at them for not being honest and making it work than I was sad when they were apart. When you reach that time of disappointment and despair, it doesn't matter who still loves you, you feel completely isolated in the world. The worst is when it's your fault, and you know it's your fault, and you feel that personal sense of shame and regret. So this is, they said that this is such a beautiful song, and it really defined and fulfilled my early adolescent need for abject depression. Funny but true. So... this is just about feeling like crap.
And having shame.
Shame.
So, the final song.
Hang.
This is what I was laughing about. I wrote,
Oh, God.
it's what my balls do.
I think you actually said that out loud, and we thought that was the funniest thing. We were laughing for probably, like, the majority of the song. Honestly.
Oh, yeah. There's, I wrote very little about this. I just wrote, very somber beginning, but it's got an abrupt ending. So, something that, I mean, I guess I'll elaborate a little bit more because I don't got much to say about the song. What we prophesized about how albums kind of end off on a note, like they don't end off very well. I'm sorry if you hear my hands rubbing.
They just start, like, ringing out like crickets when they rub their legs.
This album somewhat did that. The last 3 songs, I don't have as much of a positive vibe about as I do most of the rest of the album.
Yeah, but it didn't blow chunks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get at. Like, they just weren't horrible. Like, that's so much better than everything.
This is the best album we've
110 million%. This is the best album we've listened to so far. But they did kind of falter a little bit at the end, but not nearly as bad as they could have, dude.
Yeah. I said that this one was, a slow start, but it was kind of it was a solid end to the album. Despite the fact that it was a little bit worse. I said acoustic start, it builds up, sad. Lots of people have emotional attachments to the song, which is what I found, like, through their comments. Why do you keep grabbing the mic like that? He's full of, like, just palming the microphone, if you can't hear that.
Michael Jordan.
That one in the headphones. Okay, but Rob Thomas said himself that he wrote the song for a girl he liked and all his friends liked, but she was dating a booty hole. And the song means that if we can't date, then we can just hang. We can just hang out.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
And that's why it's called Hang.
What my balls do. Anyways,
I confirmed, good album through and through, start to finish, first one that we've come across.
Dude.
Right?
Grand scheme of things. Oh, wait, you got something to say?
One last thing. This is the first album that we didn't have to, like, take a break for, and we didn't just, like, talk through songs.
Yeah, that is true.
All of the other ones you're like, okay, like, no.
I need a break. I need to go watch some videos. I need to.
Yeah.
But this album did well. Matchbox 20 did well. Grand scheme of things, where are you putting it?
I would say, like, okay, wait. I have to think about how the list goes, because number one, I would say, like, lower 30s. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, I really like 90s music. Or I like a lot of 90s music. Because I know that Creed was 90s, but they're going to be near the bottom. They don't count. I banished them. They're exiled. This, for me, is going to be, like, low... Or I guess... we do this every podcast. Mm-hmm. High 30s, low 20s for me.
Okay, so you're putting it up there.
Yeah, I'm putting it a little bit
You're putting it up there.
I really enjoyed this. Matchbox 20, you did well. There's, like, 3 or 4 songs that I thought were a little to not so great, but... Most everything on this album, it's pretty spot on. And when they hit, they hit. So
Also, I meant to say this earlier, but like when you were talking about how you thought the bassist was the guy on the cover,
yeah.
I was thinking like, yeah, the only way it could be him though, because like looking at him now, he would have like done Weight Watchers or something.
Oh, for sure. P90X.
P90
P90X sponsors.
Hip Hop Abs.
Water aerobics.
Richard Simmons, like Jazzercise or whatever he did.
Jazzercise. Oh man.
I can't remember. Richard's.
All right, before we start going on a tangent, I'm gonna just send us out of here.
Cut it
off.
off.
This has been the Diamond Mine podcast with Nate and Lainey. Next week we're gonna be coming at you with Celine Dion. Let's talk about love
Again, Celine again.
Yep.
Okay, well, bye guys.